Okay, so here goes nothing. I have no clue what I'm doing, but and it took a lot of nerves or getting over a lot of nerves just to be able to press record. I didn't even know how to record a video. I just Googled it real quick and I am using this photo booth to record. I've never really done this before, but I have a few things I want to say. And I don't know about you, but I like coffee, so let's call it coffee confessions, coffee conversations. So yeah, I just found my birth father, um, and I'm trying to figure out a way to process my feelings, have some kind of an outlet. I don't know what I'm going to do with these videos. I don't know if I'm going to even continue recording after this one video. I just, I feel I need some kind of an outlet to express how I'm feeling and the kind of thoughts that are going through my mind. And maybe if I get the courage to post any of these, that it will help someone with their process. Maybe you're found your birth parent, um, and maybe you're learning something new about yourself, that is totally challenging everything you've ever thought you've known about yourself. And I'm sure there's going to be like similar feelings that I'm going through it, and maybe this will help you feel not so alone, because I certainly feel pretty alone right now. And even just saying all that out aloud, I can feel myself starting to feel emotional. And there's probably going to be lots of tears with these recordings. But yeah, I'm going to be, I'm 39 years old right now. I'm going to be 40 in July. I've never met my birth father. I've never seen a photograph of him. I've never known his name. It's been an unknown my entire life. Um, my mom never knew who my father was. She lived a very street entrenched lifestyle, and that's where I was born, is into the street life of Winnipeg, Manitoba. So, despite wanting to know and asking questions and pressuring her for information, she was never able to tell me. I did. I think she felt bad about that. I think she felt guilty about that for a lot of years. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't even know what I know anymore. But she did give me some names over the years that I would go down these rabbit holes of trying to find these fellas, and I did find a couple, and did do a paternity test with them and paid out of pocket for it and whatnot, and it wasn't positive. It wasn't a positive result. They weren't bad people necessarily, but I just didn't even want to engage and get to know them without having that test done first. And so I kind of had been there, done that before. And I can't remember how long ago that was. But anyway, this, I found Frank on ancestry.ca, through his brother. And um, I called him. His brother had given me his phone number, and I called him. He wasn't even actually like a DNA match on Ancestry or anything. It was actually his brother who was. And I had asked a bunch of questions years ago, and I forgot. I didn't forget. It's just like I didn't realize there was a message from him, and I hadn't gone on there in a couple of years. And I, for whatever reason, decided to go on there on December 23rd, 2024, the day before Christmas Eve. My sister was shopping, and I was so done with the shopping thing, and I just wanted to get the hell out of the mall. And I had actually, okay, I'm confusing myself. So it was actually that, or before we even went to the mall, I believe I'd called in the morning. I'd made that phone call, and there was no answer, so I just left a voicemail, which was really awkward and uncomfortable for me. And coffee first. And thought, I guess, I don't want to say I thought nothing of it, but I just kind of like let it go and then went on with the activities of shopping and whatnot. And I went to the mall, and it was around like 7 o'clock at night or whatever, and I was hiding in the bay while my sister was shopping, and I was just sitting on the comfy couches because I was so sick of all the people and the shopping and everything. And the phone rings as I was walking back to my truck, and it was Frank. So yeah, I'm just gonna share real high level where I'm at right now, because I'm a little bit overwhelmed with like all the feelings and the thoughts that have happened since then, because like today is February 12th, 2025, and that first discovery of him was December 23rd, 2024. Today was a bit of a, well, it wasn't today actually, it was yesterday. Yesterday was a big deal. It was the first time we had ever video called. And so I guess that's what's prompted me to make these videos, because I'm so overwhelmed with all my feelings. It's just like there's so much to like unpack, and every day there's like a mountain and a wave of feelings and thoughts, and they're very like extreme this or extreme that, and I'm trying to find a middle ground with how I feel about it. But like I said, I don't know. It feels like if I don't share this with someone, I don't want to say it'll be all for nothing, because obviously I've got Frank in my life now, and I don't really know what that means. But like, I feel like this is all happening for a reason. And I try to talk about it with friends and in places of support where you would typically go for support, and people are like, they don't really get it. I feel like they're just like, oh wow, right? Like it's just constantly like an oh wow kind of expression. And I don't want to like take over conversations about it, but it's like such a big deal that I haven't really crossed paths with others who've gone through anything like this before. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to relate with people and get some support, but it's like I can't seem to find anybody who's gone through this before. And so like I'm feeling what's the word, like nervous about my feelings, and like maybe guilty and grieving and excited, but like being hard on myself, like don't get your hopes up. And what are your hopes even up for? Like I'm almost 40 years old, and this man is like gonna be 72 this year. And then like today I had a mountain of feelings around, do I even really want to have a relationship with this guy, because he's 70, he's going to be 72 in July. And like I don't know how much longer he's going to be alive for, like, and like that's just going to be sad. He's going to die if we have this great relationship or whatever. And I'm already sad and like grieving all of these lost years, the past almost 40 years that like we could have had together that we didn't. And I didn't think I would be sad about that, because I thought he was going to be a piece of shit. But so far he's been an all right guy, right? So I'm trying to record this before anybody gets home, because I'm like super self-conscious about how I'm feeling, and I don't want to take over anybody's space. Isn't that so ridiculous? It's like normal feelings. I can totally take up space, but for some reason I'm really protective of my energy. But here I am posting it online, but I'm feeling protective of who to share with because I feel so vulnerable. But maybe going out into this like YouTube online thing, somehow it's going to reach somebody that I have no idea who needs to hear this, but like it's a unique, maybe not so unique story that like if I talk about it, maybe it'll help you. So that's the only reason why I think I'm doing this. Um, but yeah, anyways, Frank. So I found out on January 30th, 2025, that he is in fact my biological father. I got the results back from the paternity test. I chose to do a legal paternity test because I have trust issues and I didn't want it to be like, not him showing ID with his DNA. I have no other reason for a legal paternity test. Just that I didn't trust that this guy was going to be honest and give his actual DNA, and I had this feeling that he was the guy. So I thought, okay, ancestry is either like totally way off or he's the guy. If it's accurate, and it's either him or one of his brothers, right? Because it showed his brother Bob as my uncle, and there's like 12 brothers and sisters, I guess. So if it wasn't Frank, who Bob suggested I get in touch with, then it would be like one of them, right? So I knew he was definitely a relative. I paid $550 plus taxes or whatever for the test. It was a pretty quick turnaround, like a week or something like that. And I just did not prepare emotionally for what was going to come with the positive result at all. Like I just totally was blindsided. I thought, okay, at the very least, I might know. Well, I'll know if it's a positive or a negative. If it's a positive, cool. I'll know what my background is. I've only ever known that I'm Indigenous from my mom's side. So there's a whole other part of me that I don't know. And I don't know if that's Native or what. I'm learning that I'm Dutch. His parents are from Holland. He was the first of the family of 12 to be born in Canada. So he's the fifth out of 12. And his mom was pregnant with him when they immigrated to Canada. So like they're as Dutch as Dutch can be, I guess. So mind blown. Like I don't know what at all what that means. Anyways, so he was willing to do the test and everything like that, and we did the test and it's positive. And then we talked on the phone a few days later. Was it a few days later? I can't actually remember now. Like, gonna quickly check the calendar to make sure I'm not. No, it was actually the next day. Yeah, so I found out on January 30th, and then and then I talked to him Friday evening, the next day, the 31st, and we talked for quite a while, and it was so trippy because, it wasn't the first time I talked to him on the phone. The first time I talked to him on the phone was December 23rd, 2024. And immediately I was just like, this is so weird. This guy sounds like me. He has like, and I remember asking him, I was like, are you Native? Because I don't know, some people have said I have this accent, and I always thought it was just like a bit of a Resi Native type accent. And, but when I heard him on the phone, it was like, he sounds kind of like me. And, yeah. And it's been like that since. Like when I talked to him on the phone for a good hour and a half or whatever that first time, it was so weird. We talked about a lot of things. I'm going to try to keep this first video short, but yesterday was our first video call, and oh my gosh, like I'm just blown away. Like he has similar mannerisms as me. He has similar perspectives as me. I can see the resemblance now. Like I didn't see it in photos, but I can see it now. Like I can see that we look related and definitely act and talk and think related, which is so wild to me because it's like I've never been influenced by this man in the almost 40 years I've been alive. I've never met him. He hasn't lived anywhere near me. I have had no knowledge of him at all. Just imagination. And and here it's like, wow, like we actually are so similar. And it's mind blowing. Like to wrap my head around is crazy. It's like DNA is a real thing. Uh, we are related. So I'm gonna, I guess, keep some sort of coffee conversations about how this is going and the things that come up for me. Um, right now, I'm super nervous and scared about. So today's February 12th, Wednesday. My son's birthday. I have a son who's turning 20 on February 19th, which is a week from today. He really wanted to go to Whistler for his birthday. Just me and him, and he wanted to go do some snowboarding. So I thought that was really cool that he wants to hang out with me and do that. So we're going to Whistler for the weekend, for Friday to, it's a long weekend. So we'll leave, Saturday morning and then come back Monday. Yeah, we're gonna meet up with Frank for breakfast on Saturday morning on our way through to Whistler. So we live in Victoria, BC, so we catch the ferry and then we go to Tsawwassen, and we're gonna go meet him at a breakfast restaurant. And I've never met him in person before, and I'm scared and nervous, and I kind of wanted to do it by myself the first time, but I also wanted my son to be there because I don't know if I'm going to remember things that I want to remember. And, he's going to have a perspective and I'm going to have a perspective, and we can kind of reconcile that. And I'm already thinking ahead, like, oh my God, if Frank's going to only live for 5 or 10 years or 15 years or whatever, then like at least me and David will have that memory of him together. Cryptic, I know, but like that's honestly what kind of thought process went through my head. And I'm nervous that they're gonna like be super tight and really enjoy each other's company, and then just be like, okay, Savannah, like, thank you for bringing my grandson into my life, but I don't need you for anything. Like the fear of abandonment and rejection is real. He hasn't shown any of that kind of stuff. He's apprehensive about his family learning about me, and I don't know, like his daughter's the only one who knows. So I have an older sister. But yeah, I'm starting to get extra nervous because I know my sister and my niece are going to be home soon, and I didn't want them to hear about this video. But it's just like, oh my gosh, I can't seem to process the feelings fast enough to just like be able to cope with life day to day. It's like all I can seem to think about is learning about my father, my biological father, and in many ways unlearning these two extremes of a belief that I held about him, either being a total piece of shit or some sort of savior, and he's neither of those things. And he's somewhere in the middle, just like a regular average guy, but he seems to be a nice person. And then I start feeling sad and grieving, like that, I had such a traumatic upbringing, and I'm sad that I missed out on 40 years of having a father. So, I mean, for the people that have found their biological parents or siblings or family members or whatever, and then, but find them after they've passed away, like, I mean, there's lots of blessings that I have in this situation that other people maybe don't have. So I'm trying to find how to be grateful. But holy moly, I just thought like I could compartmentalize all these feelings. I thought I had dealt with all this stuff. I've had 40 years to like process not having a father, but I didn't anticipate there would be all these other feelings when and if I ever found him, which I didn't think I was ever going to find him. I wasn't looking that hard anymore, maybe in my 20s, but yeah. Anyways, stay tuned. 20 minutes of a video is long enough. So if you're interested, I guess the thing that people say on here is what do they say? Like, comment, or share, to get it out there. And maybe this video or these videos can help people who are navigating this stuff, because it is an emotional roller coaster, and you'll learn more about me as we go through this, because yeah, it hasn't been an easy road. It hasn't been an easy road at all, and I've worked very, very hard to be where I am. So this is it's not something I need, it's not something I want, but it is what it is. And I shouldn't say it's not something I want. I guess I didn't realize I wanted it, and I don't even know if I want it because I'm terrified of it. But I'm willing to try and to keep showing up and being open and trusting in Creator, and that there's a bigger plan. And maybe part of that is just sharing the story with others. So here I am trying to do that. So how's that for first coffee confession? Stay tuned and see you soon.